In a small town, lost among dense forests, stood an abandoned mansion known to the locals as the House of Shadows. Its walls were covered in moss, and the broken, boarded-up windows looked like eyes filled with sorrow. Legends about the house were passed down from mouth to mouth. It was said that a sorcerer named Edgar once lived there, practicing dark magic. Rumors of his dark deeds led the townspeople to fear the mansion. They said that Edgar had made a deal with forces from the other world and paid a terrible price for it. After his disappearance, the house became a source of strange events. Whispers could be heard at night, and shadows flickered in the windows. One day, a group of teenagers, Max, Lena, Artem, and Katya, decided to investigate these rumors. They were full of courage and curiosity, and one evening, armed with flashlights, they headed to the mansion. As they approached the gates, the wind howled as if warning them. But the kids merely exchanged glances and pushed open the heavy door, which creaked from age. Inside the mansion, chaos reigned. The furniture was covered in dust, and old portraits hung on the walls with eyes that seemed alive. The teens began exploring the first floor but soon noticed oddities. Shadows moved faster than they could explain, and the whispers grew louder. Max noticed the door leading to the basement. He suggested going down, and although the others hesitated, they agreed. Descending the creaky stairs, they found themselves in a dark room with an old altar. On the altar lay an ancient book with a worn cover. When Max opened the book, the pages began to flip by themselves. They contained spells and rituals of dark magic. Suddenly, a chill swept through the air, and an ominous laugh echoed from the darkness. From the shadows emerged a figure in a black cloak. It was the ghost of Edgar. He looked at them with empty eye sockets and said, "Have you come for knowledge? Or are you just fools?" The teenagers froze in fear. Edgar continued, "I have been waiting for you. You are the ones who can complete my ritual and free me from eternal confinement." He reached out toward the book, and shadows began to swirl around them. Panic seized the kids. They started running toward the exit, but the doors slammed shut with a deafening crash. Edgar's laughter grew louder until the room was filled with a grim light. At that moment, Lena remembered a spell on the last page of the book. She shouted it from memory. Light against darkness. The room filled with bright light, and the shadows began to dissipate. Edgar's ghost screamed in rage and pain until he vanished in a whirlwind of light. The doors burst open with a crash, and the teenagers ran outside, completely exhausted. The next morning, they recounted their adventures to the townspeople. The mansion was no longer just an abandoned house. It became a symbol of friendship and courage. However, the legend of the House of Shadows remained unsolved. No one knew exactly what had happened that night, or what forces truly inhabited that grim place. Since then, no one dared to enter the mansion again, but sometimes at night, whispers could still be heard in the air, the whispers of those who once sought power and dark arts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and like. I release videos every day about similar or even scarier legends and myths.